Is my drinking bad enough to stop? You are not the first person to have asked themselves that question. And I'm going to explain to you in this video why it's the wrong question. You're actually asking yourself the wrong question. Because when you ask that question, is my drinking bad enough? Should I stop? What happens is your brain thinks of somebody who drinks too much and whose drinking is worse than yours. And you look at that person and go, oh, I'm not that bad. That's an alcohol problem. Like what they're doing, that's an alcohol problem. I'm not doing that, so I can't be that bad. I'm fine. I'm good. Off I go on my merry way, right? What that's called is a rationalization. You're always going to find someone whose drinking is worse than yours, right? That's just easy. There's tons of people. And then we just use that as a measuring stick to rationalize there's nothing wrong with our drinking. But why would anyone ask themselves that question? Why would anyone do that? It's only because it's niggling at you, right? And the thing is, you'll rationalize it, but it doesn't go away. It comes back, doesn't it? A few weeks, few months later, you're thinking the same thing. And you can play this game forever. So I want you to ask yourself a different question. What I want you to do is ask yourself, is living this way good enough for me? Completely different answer, right? We're not focusing on what anyone else is doing. We're just focusing on you. Is this life good enough for you? How are you feeling? You're drinking, the hangovers, the consequences. Is that good enough for you? Is that like, are you all right with it? Right? Now, isn't that a different answer in your head? Now, if you want to go a bit further, you can also, if you're a parent, ask yourself this question. Now, brace yourself because it's a very clear answer. Do I want my kids to drink the way that I do? I'm going to say, if you have watched this video to this point and you are a parent, it's an emphatic no. So now we're in a different place, right? Now you've asked yourself different questions and you've got a clearer, more honest, realistic answer of what is actually going on here. And if you have arrived in this place, I'm going to guess that it's time to probably do something about your drinking. And if you want to do that right this minute, I have a private digital program that you could start right now. The link will be below. What happens when we kind of slide into an alcohol problem, right? Because nobody starts drinking with the goal of it being a problem, right? When back in the day when you started drinking, you didn't think like my goal is to have a drinking problem. Like we keep thinking it's going to be okay. And we keep telling ourselves a story to rationalize that it's okay, right? We're very good at doing that. It's called denial. There's all kinds of different ways that denial is very powerful. It's basically how we lie to ourselves. So it's how we tell ourselves lies. That's what denial is. And we're good at it. We're very, very clever at it. And my job is to smash your denial. That's what I'm doing right now, so that you can get a really clear, honest view of what's going on in your life and what's going on in your drinking, so you can make some different choices and changes. Now, I just want to say, if you are watching this and you're at this point, I know it's probably feeling a bit devastating, right? It's going to feel a bit like, oh my God, like it feels devastating when you first start thinking about having an alcohol problem and possibly quitting, right? It's going to feel frightening and it's going to feel devastating. That's okay. That feeling will pass. Feelings are not facts. Just because you feel like that, I promise you that feeling will pass. It will be okay. So just know that you actually could be in quite an exciting place, that you could be on the brink of your life being better. And that's how I want you to frame this. Now, when we drift into an alcohol problem, we leave ourselves by degrees, right? The stuff we do, the stuff we say, like inch by inch, little by little, we leave ourselves. And one day we wake up over here and we've become somebody we don't recognize. And one of the reasons that we leave ourselves is we disconnect from our core values. We lose sight of what really, really matters. Now, we all have a value system, right? It's really important. Part of it was given to us when we were growing up, and part of it we've developed along the way. But discovering what your core values are can be extremely clarifying and empowering, because there's stuff inside of you, right? That your value system, it guides your choices, it guides your behavior. It's a guidance system, right? Your core values are a guidance system for life. And if we are not congruent, if we are not in alignment with our values, we are more likely to regress into drinking or other unhelpful habits, because not living in alignment with your core values is actually painful. It's uncomfortable to not be in alignment with who you really are. So knowing what your personal values are, it's going to change your behavior and it's going to change your decisions. So I do this exercise a lot with clients, discovering what their core values are. And I love it because it's different for everybody. So for example, I might have someone whose core value is, perhaps it's creativity, right? They're a creative person. Maybe they love to write or paint or sing or whatever. So creativity is a core value, curiosity, that kind of stuff. And we do this exercise and they realize they're not honoring their values at all. Like as they go through their day, everything they're doing is the complete opposite of the stuff that really, really matters to them. The stuff that really, really matters to them. Like they're not allowing enough time, or they're hungover, or they're too busy to think about being creative or curious or any of that kind of stuff. So, what comes up for a lot with people is their core values are connection and family and friendships. And they, as soon as they see that, they realize that they are not living in alignment with that. They are not available to their families at the weekend because they don't feel great because they've been drinking, or they're just not around very much, or the kind of connection that they have when they're drinking is actually kind of not very, it doesn't have a lot of depth and weight. It's quite artificial. It's not genuine and authentic connection, which they know they've experienced, but it's been a while. So I want you to think about what really matters to me, like what really matters to me. And I'm going to tell you my core values. My core values are growth, connection, health, fun, and love. And when I am moving towards them, maybe I'm not embodying them perfectly. That's okay, because none of us are perfect. But when I am moving towards them and living in alignment with them, here's the thing. There is no better feeling in the world. There's no alcohol or drug that can compete with the feeling of living in alignment with your values and who you really are. It's an incredible feeling. Growth for me is just, growth is about curiosity. Like there's always something else I want to know or learn about. It's about connection, being really connected with other people. It's about sometimes taking risks, doing things that scare me because of the growth that can come from it. I live for that stuff, right? And my values, they're fairly self-explanatory, but when I was drinking and using drugs, I was so out of alignment with my values. I had lost myself. And I wonder if you've lost yourself too. And if you have, there is a way back. And if you want to get started, try the Soberful method, right? What have you got to lose? Link below. If you are lost, I want you to know there is a map that will get you back to yourself. And getting back to yourself is, by the way, what is going to keep you sober long term, right? Nothing could be further from the truth when people tell you that sobriety is boring. It's the opposite of boring, because I'm fulfilling and living my values. The time with my kids that are rapidly growing and going to leave home any minute now, all the things I don't know yet that I want to find out, the people I want to spend time with, all of that stuff, it fills you up. So don't miss out on that. Don't miss out on the life that you could have. Let's smash this denial. Go back to the question, write it down in your journal. Is living this way good enough for me? And if you feel the devastation, just know that that's going to pass. Like what is beyond that feeling, right? What is the next square? What is the next step? Because if not now, if not today, then when? Please like and subscribe. I have tons of videos on this subject, and I'll see you soon.